Hi, I'm Dave Russell, this is Rocky. We're going to just talk about, hey babe, we're going to talk about the use of the seat. We started talking about the seat and how it influences the horse. I want to make sure that if I put my hip back into this pocket here, that he will actually move his hip. I want to try and not use my leg. I'm going to ask with the hip. To get him to stop, I'm just going to straighten my body and he should stop. So I want him to be able to feel these things individually. If I want him to go forward, I want to tuck my hip, make sure my legs are underneath me. This is a stock saddle, Australian stock saddle, so it's a little different. It puts your feet forward. So I'm not quite in the equitational seat, but I'm going to use my hips and ask my horse, whoops, drop the rein first. I'm going to ask my horse to go forward from the hips, lengthen from the hips, tuck my bum, lengthen, good. Now I'm going to come up with my hips and I want him to come up. Then I want him to lengthen again from the hips, good. And now I want to move his hips from my hip. So I'm just going to use my hip just there. Good. Just falling over the front a little bit. Good. Now I'm going to push the front end around with my outside thigh and hip. So no leg, just the thigh and hip. I might even sit nice and tall and take my hip slightly to the inside to push him off sideways. Okay, so my ribs should be to the outside right now for my kind of half sideways deal. If I wanted to change the flex, I'm going to change the flex with my ribs and lift up the opposite rein into a little bit of a half pass. I had to assist him just gently with my leg just then, but basically if I bring my belly button back, that would be a backwards. Tuck my hips, it would be a forwards. Belly button back, it would be a back up. So you can start to see your horse really is influenced quite a lot by your position of your pelvis and your hips, whether it's sitting your tailbone into the back half of the saddle for a hind quarter yield, or you're pushing a little bit more forward with your hip in your thigh to push the shoulder in a front end turn. The sideways or the leg yield would be nothing more than being really light, taking your hip slightly to the right so your horse goes to the left. Sit and relax for the stop and relax. Didn't find the relax button. Sit on the left seat a little bit. I'm just going to use my leg just a smidgen there. He's a little stuck on that side and he's walking through his shoulder a little bit. So I'm going to support him with that rein just there a little bit. You can adjust your horse by pulling your shoulder back to get the hip a little more. A little bit stuck there. There we go. So even in my sideways, I can adjust the hip. So I'm going to go sideways this way. If I want the front end, I'm going to turn a little bit more. If I want the back end, I'm going to look back a little bit more and get the back end just a smidgen more. Just got to go around the fence there. So you get the idea. He's struggling, but it's a good struggle. So if anything, he's rolling through the shoulder, yeah? So I'm going to have to ride the back end just a little more to get it to catch up to the front end, like that. When he does, I can just stop. So there's a lot of adjustability. I love the word adjustable. You've got to be adjustable so your horse can be adjustable. The last thing I want is a one-trick pony. That's why this technical stuff, it can get quite intricate, but you've got to be adjustable. There is no one fixed position for anything. What happens is it looks like it is a fixed position because later on it might be just a slight turn of the toe, a close of the little finger, a turn of your shoulders, and you're adjusting your horse without anyone seeing it. So the illusion is you don't move, but that's not true. You do move, there is adjustments, and that's just a little bit about your seat and how it can work. It's not perfect, but you can see that even just playing around with it, my friend Rocky, he's starting to get the idea of it. Okay, thanks guys.